Stampin' friends, it's Ayana Johnston here with another check this out video tutorial to show you. Today I want to show you how I made this beautiful Dragonfly card. I call it the Your Special Dragonfly card. And it's a very simple card where I just used a few sheets of paper and a beautiful new stamp set in the Occasions catalog. You can get the supply list for my card on my blog at www.checkthisout.stampinup.net. Okay, so let's get started making this beautiful card. To make this card, you're going to need two stamp sets. You're going to need this beautiful new Dragonfly Dream stamp set. I love this. It's brand new in the Occasions catalog, and oh my goodness, I can't wait to play with this that much more, but I just love this. For this card, I use this beautiful like splatted splatches of dots over here. I also used Enjoy Your Special Day, and then you're gonna see me how I use the stamp of this Dragonfly. I use that Dragonfly stamp on the inside here just to give it a little oomph and a little color on the inside of the card. So you're going to see that I use those three images on this stamp set, and then I use the coordinating beautiful detailed Dragonfly thinlits. They have these great beautiful thinlits in there that are just absolutely gorgeous, and then if you get these together you save 10% as a bundle, and we all know me, I have all these specials going on all the time. So if you go to my website and visit my blog, you'll see the latest special that I have going on. And then I also brought in an oldie but a goodie. I love it. I brought in the Kinda Eclectic stamp set as well. And this one I used the sun just a little bit, and then I used this beautiful leaf image as well. For cardstock, you're going to need just 3 different colors in 3 sheets. You're going to need a piece of Very Vanilla, cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then you're going to need a sheet of Mint Macaron. And this sheet of Mint Macaron is 3.5 inches by 7 inches. And then you're going to want a sheet of the Blooms and Bliss Designer Series paper. And this sheet is cut at 3.5 by 5. That is absolutely all the paper you need for this project. The stamps, I went a little crazy with some different stamps, but I love them. So I went with Mint Macaron, then I went with Daffodil Delight, and then the Rich Raspberry. Then I also used the Rich Raspberry Ombre stamp, and then I used the Versamark stamp. You'll need some embossing powder. I used iridescent ice for this, and then I was all good to go with my supplies. So first what I want to do is I want to show you how I stamped this image. So I took my card and I folded the Very Vanilla in half, so that way I have a nice crisp card base here. And if it's not lined up, I always look on the other side and make sure, because I'm really particular for those of you that have seen my videos about lining things up. Now I'm just going to stamp my images. So I've got the Dragonfly image, then I've got my sun image, and I've got my other 2 images, my dots and my leaves, and then I've got my sentiment. First I'm going to kind of randomly stamp the dots on the bottom using the ombre stamp, Rich Raspberry stamp, with these beautiful splotches here. Then I just stamp off, and then I stamp on just to lighten it just a little bit more than what I wanted. And that's all I needed with that stamp set. Excuse me, with the stamp and the spots. Then I'm going to go ahead and stamp my leaves in the corner, and then my sun, and my Dragonfly, and then my sentiment. And you'll see how I use the sun with crushed curry. So I'm using Mint Macaron for my leaf, and then I'm going to also use Mint Macaron for my Dragonfly. And then for my sentiment, I'm going to use Rich Raspberry. Now I like to almost put it as far over as I can, so I just leave room for my dragonfly, or you can lay down your dragonfly first. Oh, and then one last thing I need this Rich Raspberry for. You're going to want to go ahead and take your piece of mint macaron, and you're going to need this framelit out of the dragonfly framelets, and you're going to angle it diagonally because we also need the group of dragonfly thinlits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sponge lightly around this area because I'm going to go ahead and get a nice look for these butterflies that are going to be in mint macaron and some rich raspberry. Okay, so that is all my stamping. Next, what I want to do is I want to cut out my pieces using my mint macaron. So I want to cut out one of these large dragonflies, or this particular framelit for the dragonfly, which I've already done to save time. And then I want to cut out this butterfly. I'll do that in just 1 second. And then what I want to do is take my designer series paper and cut out one of these large dragonflies. And I've done that also to save time. So I'm going to just cut out this grouping of butterflies, and then we're going to get started piecing the rest of the card together. Okay, so now I have my dragonflies cut out. I want you to know I use the precision plate to cut out these fine detail thinlits, and I did that with the large dragonfly as well because I love that precision plate. And then I also use my wonderful brush here to get all those cute little pieces out. So I want to show you the brush. It makes it so simple to just get all those pieces out, and there they all are. Now that I've got all my pieces, one thing I want to do is take my paper snips, because I only want 2 of these dragonflies. Some of you guys might want to fit all 4, but since I only need 2, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out the ones that I really like. Okay, now I'm going to pull all my pieces in, and I'm going to show you how I adhere these together, but one final step I want to do is I'm going to add some iridescent ice onto the mint macaron piece using some Versamark ink. So I want to ink this up really good. Throw on some iridescent ice, and then I'm going to just heat emboss it. Okay, now that I've heat embossed that, look at the beautiful sparkle and shine on that butterfly, or dragonfly, excuse me. So now I'm going to add mono tumble glue. I find that, or sorry, multi-purpose glue. It says mono tumble glue on it as well, to adhere my big dragonfly to it. It sticks better with mono tumble glue. Sorry for calling it mono tumble. It says multi-purpose glue in the catalog, and I'm so used to going with what I want to, but my mom was commenting to me about how I call it that. Next, I'm going to get a long strip of Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to adhere this to my card with Stampin' Dimensionals. Just making sure it sticks with that adhesive. I think I'm going to have to add just a little bit more, but I'm going to have to tape that on my card first real quick. So I'm going to position that where I want that on my card. And then I'll add just a little more glue. I think he's starting to stick now. And then I actually stick some on the dragonfly so I can hear these together, these little parts of them in the back. Then I'm going to take some glue dots. And one thing I did with this glue dot, because I didn't want the tail sticking up too much, I just adhered some glue dots on the very back of this tail of the dragonfly. Having a little fun here having them stick. I didn't have this much fun when I first did it. Look at that. All right. And then I'm going to put a couple more glue dots. Oh, I'm going to poke myself while I'm at it. Just underneath this smaller iridescent iced dragonfly to make the wings stay down. So that way the other wings curl up. Then I'm going to adhere these dragonflies with some glue dots as well. I like to put a couple on because I want to make sure they're not going to come off. Oh my goodness, look at that. And the last little bit I add to this card just to give it just a little bit more, because I love shine and dazzle and everything else, is I take my glimmer pen, clear one, and I literally just, oops, I opened that the backwards way. I just paint the whole dragonfly. I mean, some of you could just like it the way it is, which is perfectly fine, but I'm a glimmer girl. And there it is. Oh my goodness. I hope you liked watching this video as much fun as I had making it and creating the card. I just love the way it turned out. So be sure to check out my website at www.checkthisout.stampinup.net for some more great ideas. And don't forget, I've got a special going on for that occasion catalog as well. Happy stamping.